flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Read the minutes. The Watts Township Board of Supervisors, this is from December 2nd. The Watts Township Board of Supervisors meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. on December 2nd, 2015 at the New Buffalo Fire Hall by Chairman Carl Rudinsky with the Pledge of Allegiance. A motion was made to approve the minutes as read for October 28, 2015. Rudinsky, Gutow, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to approve the minutes as read for November 4th, 2015. Rudinsky, Smith-Gall, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to approve the minutes as read for November 12th, 2015. Rudinsky, Gutow, motion carried unanimously. Public comment. Brian Reif Snyder asked if the 4 amendments to the driveway ordinance will be sent to the Planning Commission. Supervisor Gutow stated they will be at the next meeting. Kyle Fritz with the Eads Group presented the contract for $39,530 for the Act 537 plan, the task activity report, and an informational letter to be mailed out to the residents. A motion was made to sign the contract, the task activity report, and approve the letter. Gutow, Smith-Gall, motion carried unanimously. John Kirshner from Fine Line Homes inquired as to what is required to release the bond for Susquehanna Highlands and dedicate the road to the township. Engineer Jerry Spees will have to recommend the release. The secretary will advise Jerry of the request and to work with Mr. Kirshner on the requirements. Mr. Kirshner will submit the request in writing. Ralph Rudy asked what is being done with the Zen Farhat excavation situation. Neil Limes of the Perry County Conservation District has gotten involved regarding ENS control and other needed requirements. Bob Hart was asked to check that the zoning requirements are being met. The Secretary has issued 2 letters informing him that a land development plan is required and that a certificate of occupancy will not be issued until that plan is submitted and approved. A motion was made to direct Bob Hart to issue a stop work order immediately. Rudinsky, Smith-Gall, motion carried unanimously. Zoning officer, 2 permits were issued. Bob has spoke to Mr. Singh regarding the house at the Burger King. Mr. Singh will be sending a letter to the township with what his intentions are with the property. Engineer Jerry Spees was absent. He reported to Supervisor Gutow the GP for the firehouse will be obtained by the next meeting. Unfinished business. Status of saldo. The Secretary has received the PC comments and changes. 2014 audit has been started. The ad for appointing a CPA for the 2015 audit has been placed. New business. 4 right-to-know requests have been received. Tanya and Mike Boatdorf have sent an email complaining about noise their neighbor is producing. The property is owned by George Lowe. A motion was made to send a letter to Mr. Lowe advising him of the situation. Rudinsky, Smith-Gall, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to have Solicitor Fennicle prepare the supervisor meeting pay ordinance at the rate of $75 per each attended meeting and to advertise. Rudinsky, Smith-Gall, motion carried unanimously. A special meeting will be held on December 18, 2015 at 10 a.m. at the Municipal Building to adopt the 2016 budget and the supervisor meeting pay ordinance. No other business will be conducted. A motion was made to hold and advertise the organizational meeting on January 5th, 2016 at 6 at the New Buffalo Fire Hall, the Planning Commission organizational meeting, and the auditors January 5th, 2016 at the time to be determined by them. Rudinsky, Gutow, motion carried unanimously. Supervisor Smith-Gall asked Brian Reif Snyder what the reason is for all the right-to-know requests being submitted, as it takes up a lot of the Secretary's time, which causes the township additional money. Brian stated if the board would issue a letter to the Board of Auditors allowing them access to the township financial records, the request would stop. Ralph Rudy asked why a CPA is being hired when there are 3 auditors and stated the books will be audited anyway through the request. The Secretary questioned what experience the auditors have auditing township records and that John Heffenfinger has stated he is willing to take classes and suggested the others should do the same. Planning Commission, November minutes have been submitted. A motion was made to pay the bills with the exception of Snyder Paving and any bills that come due before the next meeting. Rudinsky, Smith-Gall, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting. Smith-Gall, Gutow, motion carried unanimously.
Get a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Seconded. All in favor, aye.
We have December 18th. The Watts Township Board of Supervisors special meeting was called to order at 10 a.m. on December 18, 2015 at the Municipal Building by Chairman Carl Radinsky with the Pledge of Allegiance. Public comment. Brian Reifsnyder asked what the general purpose of the executive session will be. Solicitor Fennicle stated it will be announced at that time. A motion was made to adopt the tax resolution 15-06 setting the tax rates for 2016. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to adopt the 2016 budget. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to adopt the supervisor meeting pay compensation ordinance 2015-04. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to approve the revised Act 537 letter by the Board of Supervisors. Gutau, Radinsky, motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting and go into executive session to discuss litigation matters to include the Hunter appeal and the potential litigation with the Farhat excavating. Radinsky, Gutau, motion carried unanimously.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
All in favor, aye. Okay. Okay, now, public comments, anybody?
I have a question.
Yes.
You stated, and I remember it the last time, that the organizational meeting would be held at 6 p.m. for the supervisors today. And it was changed, and first we heard about it was in the newspaper. Is there a reason why it was changed to yesterday?
Yeah,
It has to be done on
first.
Right.
First
It has to
Monday.
be done the
Attorney
first
told us.
Monday, because I know last month you threw me for a loop because I knew that had to be done the first Monday, and I couldn't understand why you changed it to Tuesday.
Well, after the talking with the attorney, it was his legal recommendation and advice
Oh, yeah.
that we change that.
Okay.
So that's the reason.
Okay.
We do it legally.
Yes.
Okay, we have nothing from the solicitor, right?
Nope.
Zoning officer, Burger King.
I'll be making that decision within the next 2 months.
Jerry?
The first thing about the general permit, I'm finishing up the drawing and it should be ready to go in tomorrow. And the Susquehanna Highlands bond, I did write a letter to the supervisor. I guess they take action on reducing of the bond and what it takes. I also have in there what it takes to dedicate the street.
Okay. Yes, so you.
Well, no, we need to
You
do,
want to go to minutes now? Wait till Tuesday.
no, we need to do that now.
Okay, I make a motion to reduce the improvement funds for the Susquehanna Highlander Grade 1 from $351,544.33 to $7,755, and to provide a maintenance bond of $19,667.70 for 18 months. I need a second.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor, aye. Okay. That's what you need then, Jerry, you ready?
Yeah, I think that.
Yes, I'll send a letter to Susquehanna Highlands, that John Kirshner, informing him that the board has approved that reduction. And he will issue another bond in the amount of $7,755. And then I will send back the $351,000 bond.
Okay, got everything? The SEO, there's no reports. Fire company, anything?
No, gave you the December's budget financial report. That's pretty much it. Hopefully we have a slower year.
Anybody have any questions on it? Okay, the unfinished business. Sound doing, the PC is going to review that and submit changes to the secretary.
They have done that. I've also gotten Jerry's comments. It's just a matter of getting time to incorporate all those into the document.
Okay, I looked at our 2014 audit, filed and approved, so,
I got the email today, done, filed, and approved.
okay, so then that, the letter we get from,
I didn't get that yet.
you didn't get that?
No, but that will be coming.
Okay. Okay, the information letter to the residents about the 537 mailers, they delivered to the township, we have that ready to go.
We've got those, and they'll be taken to the post office tomorrow and delivered.
Okay, the Florida order, 3139 Susquehanna Trail, BIU issuing stop order.
After our meeting, I got an email from Eric Nash at BIU requesting what our Saldo ordinance number was and something else. I forget what that was, but anyway, I sent an email to BIU today requesting what's been done, and I did not get a response. So I don't know at this point.
I'm thinking what we might want to consider doing is just making a motion, if need be, if we don't have a follow through on that, we can make a motion to have, again, if needed, that Linus could submit a letter. That'll leave it open-ended. If we don't need a letter, then that's fine. If we get back from BIU within the next month. But if we don't, then Linus could submit something to Mr. Farhat.
Well, it looks like Mr. Farhat's already there.
He's been there. He's been in and out doing work. I thought we were putting a work stock order on that. Did we service that?
That's what we've talked to.
We have, Ralph, but, you know,
I know, but as long as
we've
we,
got nothing but to stand on except don't give them an occupancy permit. If they're not going through the bank or anything, guess what? He's going to say,
but he's still occupying it. So then induce the fine like you guys were going to do to me.
I don't know that we have a fine in place. I don't know.
You put a work stop order on it.
Yeah. There's got to be some kind
Reads in here, you can.
Got to be some kind of penalty for that.
Right, well, that's what
So-
I'm saying. So it may be-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I did. I'm thinking, like I said, if we don't get, Eric was who we spoke with at BIU. He was the one who was supposed to inform and go ahead, because that's kind of the teeth we have at this point, was Eric at BIU. He was to contact Nancy and also Linus at one of our executive sessions that we had. Essentially, we spoke with him on the phone at that point in time. And he was going to contact Mr. Farhat, Eric from BIU that is, was going to contact Mr. Farhat and kind of give him the rundown on what we needed and at the timeline we needed it in. Because we didn't get contact back from him so far, my thoughts are, that's why I said we could make a motion to say, then Linus, let's get authorization to be able to have Linus send him something.
Okay, there's also a time limit on it,
Time limit
on reacting to this.
Yeah,
So you have to react to, I'd say we withdraw all permits that we've issued.
Well, that is
There's
what
no permits
our
issued.
building,
That's a problem.
that's what the building code official, which is Eric Nash at BIU, was to do.
to do, right. That's what, that
Yeah,
was
but
the
didn't
whole-
our guys issue the permits? Zoning
Yes,
permits
yes.
and all that?
Zoning
That was a
permit.
zoning permit. That's not the one that has to do with BIU and what they can issue with their inspections.
I know, but they can retract the permits that they issued and then they're there without, if they, we have to come up with something to do here.
Okay, do you want to make this motion to,
Okay, I'll make a motion that we have the ability to contact Linus to write a letter to Mr. Farhat in the event that we don't hear back very shortly from BIU from.
making,
I thought he already did that.
No, he hasn't done it yet. And that's what Nancy was saying. She contacted Joette today at BIU to find out what's been going on with Eric, to say, hey, have you talked to the fella yet? Have you?
And Jolette's leaving that.
yeah.
Right, so tomorrow, I would say we do it tomorrow then, if we don't get any kind of.
Well, the
response.
sooner the better.
Right.
And we issued a zoning permit and everything, that we should write some kind of letter up that we're retracting all.
Well, that's,
What's the time limit on it, though? Like you said, there should be a time limit on it.
yeah,
Well, there is 90, I think it's 90 days, and then it becomes after the
If you don't
fact.
hear nothing,
tomorrow Wednesday, and that,
if Nancy don't hear nothing by 3 o'clock,
okay,
then you.
Okay, as long as we're taking care of it. But we gotta, it's cautious, we gotta watch the timeline, because if it goes over, it just becomes, that's the way it is.
Run around.
I think we also need to look into another inspection agency also.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think everybody's in agreement on that one. Yeah.
What are they, did they do, decide anything in, what, Buffalo yet on another inspection agency?
They're in, Buffalo's in the same situation as Watts
Yeah.
as far as BIU issuing, doing inspections and issuing permits
They
and so
should never.
forth that they shouldn't have
They
done.
We have our own office, they shouldn't be issuing any permits. And they shouldn't be issuing any before it ever went through the planning commission
We're
to
doing
start with.
inspections.
Huh?
Yeah, so they did inspections.
That's right.
When you allotted your beginning for residential, you're done commercial. That should have been a red light right there. That's
Jerry?
what Gary should have.
Super. If you get a chance, we can talk about this later too. If you have any other recommendations for anybody who does inspections or, you know, in lieu of BIU, or if you have any ideas of anybody that does that type of thing that we'd hire out,
We'll
separate
we'll discuss it.
contract, pardon me?
I'll check it out.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I made a motion, if we don't hear back from BIU tomorrow, Harold, by 3 o'clock, that we go ahead and authorize Linus to go ahead and write Farhat a letter.
Made a motion.
That's the motion I made.
I'll second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Because they're hauling pipe and everything in now, they're just ignoring you guys.
I have a question,
Okay.
Linda Heffinfinger. If he filled that in where that building is occupying now, I thought you had to wait for so many years before you could build on gravel
On Phil.
or earth, fill that had been,
He hauled that in there, I watched him.
That's,
Depends on how far they dig down
Yeah,
to the
that's
footing.
okay.
all that's up in the air, Linda. I mean,
You don't know, it's already filled, you don't know what they did.
Yeah.
it's a bunch of wrong there.
And I thought you had to wait so long when you disturbed her.
Well, if they did it on compaction, that's one thing, you know? So there's just a lot of
All right.
wrongs done there.
Unknowns.
Yeah. Okay, next thing.
Go ahead, John.
She's talking about that in the field, right out from us on the old King property there, and they put that 3-bay garage up. I think the setback is wrong, because it's 24 feet from the yellow line to the front of that garage. And I thought the 30-foot setback was on the front of that building there, 30 through front and back, and 25 on each side. But there isn't enough setback on it. Plus, they hauled fill from across the road. They dug that whole bank out and filled in over there and built that garage and everything in there within 3-4 days.
Well, that has to do again with compaction and going through BUI, the building inspector. They're the ones that come out and inspect compaction.
Yeah,
We never heard
That's
of,
not our hands, that's through the inspection agency.
so how do we combat that problem so it doesn't keep occurring? We have sinking
Well,
buildings
that's
and
through the-
cracking.
That's through the inspections that go with compaction for footers. That's not us, that's why I think we should look into
Well,
another inspection agency.
Yeah, okay. Just as long as we get it addressed.
Okay,
Did that even have to go to BUI,
what?
that garage?
Bob,
Was it less than
Yeah.
1,000
Did that-
square feet?
It's got a permit, it's gotta be inspected.
If it's under 1,000 square feet, they might not have
And
to.
I said that, I don't know what size that garage is.
I don't know either.
How many thousand feet?
And if it,
Yeah, if it's 1,000
Under
feet,
1,000 square feet, you don't have to go through inspections.
1,000 square feet. Yeah, you're right, but I think that's a little more than that.
I don't know.
3 doors on it and stuff.
Depends on whether it has electric or water into it.
I don't know, I don't have the things in front of me, so. The setback, I don't know, what about the setbacks? Do we know the setbacks where it should be from the road?
Gary, do you inspect the setbacks on that?
No, Harold wasn't, Bob was.
No?
I mean, I'm just,
Mark?
You didn't inspect the setbacks on it?
No, I did not.
Who inspects the setbacks on it?
It's in the O1 zoning ordinance. I would assume the zoning officer would do it.
What was the setbacks on there? You don't remember? You wrote over there, so you should know.
I don't have it in front of me, Paul.
That's normal.
Okay.
We'll take care of something later, we'll check it out, because that's not right. Okay, the activity report has been accepted by DEP,
That's the task activity report that we signed, or you signed, I think I signed.
yeah.
For the Act 537 plan. DEP has approved the plan of how to go about doing this. Implementing it, there you go. Which is good news.
Okay, on the new business. The working supervisor's pay raise set by the auditors, apparently you people didn't do that.
Um,
You're supposed to do it at the beginning.
Okay, we'll discuss that at 8 o'clock meeting, because I have some things prepared. Brian had requested some right to knows, which would have been very helpful for us to set the pay early. But since they haven't been answered, we have nothing to go by. But I will discuss, I have a sheet here that I made up. There was a questionnaire for the supervisors so that we as auditors could set the pay scale. And I didn't like the composition on it. I shortened it, and I will present it at the 8 o'clock meeting.
Okay, the Peace Acts Convention registration starts January 12th. Who's going to that? You?
Oh,
That's the registration. If we register by then, it's 150. If we register after that, it's 175.
So I'll go to that one.
You remember that going?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, the county convention is February 27th. Who's going to go to that?
I may or may not be able to go to that one.
I'm going to go to the one. You want to go to that? It's up to you.
Or not.
Okay. And we'll move on. There's nothing on the roadmaster. Okay, the planning commission report, we have this Neven subdivision, and that'll be, everybody got one, got their copies, is that right? Okay, next division is bills. Everybody got 20 bills.
I'm going to do it. We need to back up to this building here again. If the setbacks aren't right, what do we do now? You know,
This is,
I raised the question before about the setback of that building, you know, off the road.
this here case seems to be repeatedly, right along. It just goes right around from, it's,
It is on the permit.
It is in the permit. Because I recall, this is back when it was being.
That was during that time where I had a fall and had concussion.
But I mean, when you had measured or whatever, you said everything was.
There was plenty of room for the setback.
it's,
That's what I had remembered you saying at that time, that the setbacks had been checked and we were okay with everything.
I was thinking the setbacks off Township Road was 70 feet.
and was there a
Most-
permit
The
issued?
most setback is 50 foot. I don't think it was 50.
50%.
50 foot? That's no 50 feet.
That's no 50 feet. What about the bank they dug out there, and more, the water coming down there? Did they get an earth moving permit from New Bloomfield?
I don't think I could be wrong, I don't think they needed any, if they didn't disturb more than an acre.
You dig any bank out or anywhere, move any earth along any road berm, I'm sure you need a
If it's
permit.
less than an acre, you don't need a permit.
May I say
What's the
something?
ordinance,
May
what's
I
the
say
ordinance
something?
say?
Who's ever built anything without moving earth?
Yeah, but you're digging along a road.
It's not, it
A
wasn't.
township
on the
road
I'm
you're
familiar
digging,
with that
okay,
property.
read the ordinance, it
I'm
states it
familiar
on
with
there,
that.
it states it on there. It states it right in the ordinance.
2010 driveway ordinance might even have it in there.
driveway, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the driveway and highway
The state,
occupancy,
right,
yeah.
it's in the driveway ordinance.
Yeah, there is something about that.
It's in there, you can't move out of it.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah, it says you need a permit. Here we go. 2010 driveway
Read it,
ordinance.
it's in there. I don't know what hard to do. I don't know.
The driveway permit requires a bank disturbance within the right of way. To obtain its required, well, that's to obtain the required site distance, and that didn't affect site distance. Yeah, but it says driveway, when it requires a bank disturbance. I mean, it's debatable. However, on the other hand,
Yep.
I have a question. I was at the meeting yesterday, and you said something about meeting on a Wednesday again?
Yeah, we changed it.
Oh, that's what we
Okay.
have to do. We gotta make a motion. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. 'cause
Okay.
what-
Okay, the reason I ask is because we set our 8 o'clock auditors meeting so that we could have it on the same day, and you said that you couldn't have it.
Right.
So that's a question as to whether we're gonna change it again.
Well,
So,
we, in fact, that's something that we
That's
need
what
to bring
we
We
up.
did it at the organization meeting.
Yeah, okay.
That was, yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
at 6
that's-
o'clock
that's-
on Wednesdays. I can't do
It'll
Tuesdays.
be, we'll just have ours right
Okay.
after.
That's,
because I was
you know,
under
that's
the
what we
im- impression that you were gonna change it to
Yeah,
Tuesday because
okay.
Linus
Yeah.
couldn't be here on
Right.
Wednesday.
But-
Right, so what we did in lieu of that
think I
is,
stepped
because
on
Nancy
your toe.
had a conflict
Oh,
with her
Does it say that?
situation there, so
Well,
instead of having it on Tuesday,
any
we
land
moved it
disturbance
back to
within the
Wednesday
public
as it
road
always
right
was.
away.
Right.
That's a
That's in the
driveway and
roadway.
highway occupancy.
It's right around the
6 o'clock,
roadway.
yeah.
It's
So
a
it
half
is
hour, but
within
that
the
was
right of
on
way.
10 for a longer
And he
period
dug
of
it
time,
open.
and we're getting money's worth, so to speak.
But now we have our meeting set for Tuesdays each month at 8 o'clock. We'd have to change it back to Wednesday. If we could keep it at a Tuesday, but the problem is if if you have something on a Wednesday that needs our attention, it would be a whole month till you get an answer. It could be.
So we're going Wednesday, so you have to change it, you're gonna continue.
Yeah, I'm confused as to what questions you
Well,
may
I don't know
have.
what could come up, but we.
Well, all the auditors are tasked with is setting the supervisor's pay rate,
Mm-hmm.
because this year we have a CPA.
We
That
can
is
still
all
do-
you're tasked with,
We can still do other things.
okay?
It's in Article 9.
Well,
And you're
okay.
planning on doing this
Be very
after the
careful.
township meeting, every
Very
meeting?
careful.
Pardon?
Be
Oh,
very
yes,
careful.
we are,
Okay.
okay.
I'm sorry, I was answering you.
After the supervisors meeting, they're planning on having a meeting here?
Yeah.
Well, after the supervisors meeting, the building's gonna be closed. I'm not aware of another group going to,
Aren't we taxpayers?
don't go down the road, I'm just asking a
Okay,
question.
well, we're taxpayers.
What's that have to do with the building?
That means we have as much right to it as you.
Have a motion to set that change the date.
Now, he has a good point.
I have a life too. I'm nice enough to open this building, close this building, and I like to know what's going on.
Are you-
I had no problems opening it up early. They asked me to open it up by 5:30 today. That's doable. But now I'm hearing 8 o'clock meeting after every meeting.
Well, we as auditors had decided that we'd like to meet, and since last month, they were going to have a meeting tonight, and the way they talked like it was gonna be on a Tuesday night. So we set up a meeting for 8 o'clock. After this meeting, to have our monthly meetings, so that the fire company didn't have to be opened up 2 days in a row. But we want to try to keep it, our meeting, the same night as the supervisors' meeting, so the fire company isn't open 2 nights in a row, that it can be opened until our meeting. It shouldn't be a very long meeting. But now we have to change it back to Wednesday, which we can do, but we already publicized it would be at 8 o'clock in the newspaper.
Are you guys elected auditors yet?
Yes,
January.
yeah, we had our organization
January?
meeting at 5:30, but we've been sworn in, we have our certificates, we have everything legally done. We are sworn in as elected auditors, yes.
Does she have your certificates?
Yes.
Yes. And you have our sworn in things too.
Yes. Your oath of office. Yes, I
Yes.
do.
I'm not sure typically how long our meetings last, usually they would last longer, but I think they're gonna be probably more brief for the most part.
We could probably have them right after, earlier, right after your meeting. That wouldn't be a problem for us.
That's not our call, that's.
We need the blessing of the firehouse first.
Right, right. If we have them right after this meeting, it's over at 7:30, is that convenient for you?
Why are you having it after the township meeting?
Okay, well, if something comes up in the township, or a meeting that pertains to auditors, that we can work on it right away afterwards, that's one reason. Another reason is the fire company, I don't like to impose on the fire company to open it another night other than the township meeting.
I have no problems opening it up early on Wednesdays for you guys to come in early to do your work.
No, just at 6 o'clock.
I'm saying, I have no problems opening it up early for you guys to have your meeting before the township meeting. But to be honest with you, some meetings go to 8, 9 o'clock. I don't want to be here.
I can understand.
Because I don't know how long you guys are going to be. I'm willing to work with you, but I wasn't aware of this 8 o'clock after meeting. I was aware of, you asked me to open it up at 5:30 today, which I did. I didn't know it was going to be a daily thing after every meeting,
No, a monthly thing.
a monthly thing, that's what I mean.
We
I'm not being
can,
ignorant, we put a lot of time in this place.
No,
I
I believe that.
I do 5 or 6 meetings a month.
yes.
Now you're putting another meeting on top of a meeting, which I know how.
Are you refusing to open the firehouse?
I'm not.
Okay.
Did
That's all I want to know. Are you
I just
refusing?
said I can open it up
You didn't
early.
say that, Ralph.
Early before the meeting.
I heard enough about it.
Because
Just leave it
to
go.
me, then, I'm just looking
I
at this way.
understand that, I really do.
We don't need to be here at 8 o'clock. We can have them earlier.
But do you want to have it earlier?
Okay, we can have them earlier.
I'm trying to work this, I just don't want to be here.
Could you open it like 5:30?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
I can open it, I can have it
We'll have
open
ours,
up
we'll
early.
have ours ahead of them.
Right. I just wasn't aware of 8 o'clock meeting, how long, 20 minutes?
I don't want you here to wait or not.
That's what I'm saying. If I can have this building opened up at 5 o'clock on the Wednesdays of the town.
Huh? Can you do it at 5? Because
That's
that
what
will
I said,
give
I can have it
us.
open, I'll have it open at 5. If you guys want to be here at 5 or 5:30,
Okay,
that's fine.
but the idea of having it the same day was so that you wouldn't have to open it a different day. That's the
I'm willing to
reason.
work, I just don't want to be here.
No, I'm complaining, because I don't like an 8 o'clock meeting either, because it's a long day and I'm tired of 8 o'clock, but I wanted to have it the same day as convenient.
That's fine.
Okay, okay, 5 o'clock then?
Yeah, I'll have it open 5 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll do it that, that'll give us enough time. First
First
Wednesday,
Wednesday, I'll have it open.
that's fine. Okay. Where'd you put it?
Right there.
Okay, advertise for 5.